Do you want to become the kind of Ekko player who dominates every match, leaving your teammates impressed and enemies calling you an Ekko god? If you said yes, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm revealing the most secret Ekko tricks. Tips so advanced that even some Masters Elo players don't know them. I'm Ekkoliner and I've been an Ekko main since his release. In Season 13, I hit 500 LP on EU West playing almost exclusively Ekko jungle. Last year, I coached more than 60 players and here's what I've learned. Most people overlook these tricks completely. And trust me, if you're not using them, you'll never reach the elite level of play. Especially the last trick. It can literally win you games, so stick around. By the end of this video, you'll be one step closer to becoming an Ekko god. Let's dive in. Did you know Ekko can jump over the Baron and Dragon pit walls to reach the Crux using his EW combo? This trick is one of the fastest ways to invade the enemy's Crux while avoiding potential vision. It's also great for quickly returning to your clear path after taking an objective. The only other champions who can pull this off as efficiently are Kayn, Talon, Lee Sin and Zac. Here's how you do it. Cast your E over the wall while dropping your W on top of the Crux, and then use the second E instance to auto-attack the big Crux to blink over the wall. It's doable with Ekko's base movement speed of 340, but it gets much easier as soon as you pick up boots. On the Dragon side, I'll admit I struggle to do it without boots, but hey, maybe that's just me. Benefits are huge. You'll invade faster than usual to avoid getting caught. Plus, this trick opens up creative options like sneaking in a dive from behind while dodging vision in the river or Tribrush. As a bonus, here's a cool but less practical trick. You can jump over this wall as well. It's not as game-changing, but still fun to pull off. Make sure to practice these jumps a few times in practice mode before trying them in a real game. They aren't the easiest, but once you've got them down, they can make all the difference. The second trick might have happened to you by accident, but good Ekko players do it consistently and on purpose. I'm talking about following enemies' flashes or movement abilities with Ekko's second E. When timed well, you can even follow abilities like Zed's W or Yone's E. Some are trickier than others, but overall, this is easier than it looks. And true to Ekko's theme, the secret is to look a few seconds into the future. Here's how you do it intentionally. Anticipate when the enemy will use their flash or mobility and buffer your auto attack to match their timing. Look for key indicators like low HP targets trying to escape or enemies positioning near walls. Unfortunately, there is no guaranteed shortcut to mastering this, it all comes down to your game sense. But here's the good news, this isn't some super niche play. In just 7 games during my first stream back, I pulled this off 3 times. At least one of those was completely calculated. The other 2, let's say they were happy accidents. This shows that with practice, you can use this trick frequently to secure kills. Keep improving your timing and it'll become a natural part of your Ekko play. This next trick is actually 2 separate but similar techniques. On their own, they might not seem very exciting, but together they're essential if you want to master Ekko. First, let's talk about smite range. Did you know it's slightly larger than the range of Ekko's second E auto attack? This means that in many situations you can slow a fleeing enemy with smite and immediately follow up with your empowered auto to finish them off. It's a small yet powerful detail that can turn close chases into secured kills. The second trick involves using the EQ combo to slow enemies inside your W. With Rocket Belt now being more of a situational item, mastering this is more important than ever. By stacking the slow from your Q with the slow from your W, you can close the distance and secure stuns on targets that might otherwise escape. These techniques might not be flashy, but they're crucial for winning fights and securing kills. Once you've mastered them, you'll notice how much more consistent your impact becomes in games. The fourth trick I'm sharing with you will make your enemies question if Ekko is unfair. You can buffer the auto attack from your second E instance to negate the impact of incoming crowd control. While it won't cancel the CC itself, it lets you blink to your target before being affected. This means you'll still be in range to continue chasing them the moment the CC wears off. Like the second trick, this requires good timing, but when executed correctly, it can be the difference between securing a kill or getting taken down yourself. To use this consistently, you need a strong awareness of the enemy's spells and when they're likely to use them. Fortunately, this is often easier than following flashes or mobility spells, as most CC abilities are a bit more telegraphed. Mastering this technique will make your Ekko gameplay even harder to counter. The last trick I'm sharing is by far the most impactful. Honestly, it blows my mind that there are players in Master Elo and higher who don't use it. However, you may have heard of this trick, but still aren't using it. And I'm here to tell you why it's worth learning and how it can completely change your game. The trick Don't skill your ultimate at level 6. This allows you to hide your clone, which has incredible value for multiple reasons. First, it makes landing your ult much easier because your enemies won't see it coming. But even more importantly, it tricks your opponents into thinking you don't have ult at all. I can't tell you how many times this has baited enemies into taking fights they had no business engaging in. In fact, this one trick consistently gets me 1 to 3 kills per game that I wouldn't have secured otherwise. Considering Ekko is one of the hardest snowballing champions in the game, the ability to secure those extra kills can help you completely take over a match. Of course, there's a downside. You'll need to skill your ult quickly during fights. I won't lie, there have been times when I've died because I missed the timing. But with practice, the reward is well worth the risk. Just recently, in 7 games, this single trick allowed me to snowball in 3 of them. Sometimes because enemies thought they could fight me, and other times because I landed insane ults they didn't see coming. Now, you might be wondering how to keep track of your clone. The easiest way is to force fights where you don't move much, keeping the clone directly on top of you. Over time, as you play more Ekko, you'll naturally get better at positioning it effectively. This trick is an absolute game changer. If you're serious about becoming an elite Ekko player, it's a skill you need to master. By mastering these tricks, you'll set yourself apart from the crowd of mediocre Ekko players and unlock his full potential. If these techniques feel a bit too advanced for where you're at right now, don't worry. I've created multiple in-depth guides that cover the fundamentals of becoming an elite Ekko player. Those will help you build a solid foundation before practicing these higher level mechanics. I hope this video taught you something new and gave you an edge for your next game. Let me know in the comments which of these tricks you're most excited to try out. Until next time, my fellow Ekko enjoyer. Now, go carry some games.